Well, good morning and happy Monday to you. Welcome into the Real Monica Adams Show. How was your weekend? Drop in some comments for me as all of you are getting ready to sign in this morning. Hopefully you get a chance to wake up with a happy, smiling heart. If not, well, then we're going to give you a little hope today. We're also going to tell you about some things that happened over the weekend, regionally, nationally, into some sports news. A pretty exciting night for the St. Louis Blues tonight. Not necessarily in action, but what's going to take place for some of the guys to put on some new jackets. I'll explain that coming up. Why one lawmaker wants the Battlehawks to take over the top spot with regards to the state, Missouri's top football team. We'll explain all of that for you coming up. We will remember a dear soul. This one's hitting really hard for a lot of St. Louis. And right here on our Real Monica Adams Show, someone we lost over the weekend, and it just really devastated. Very tied into the arts and the culinary scene. And also someone very well known in the rock scene that passed away. So we got a lot to do, and then we're going to focus on the St. Louis Ballet. Tell me this as you're signing on. How many of you have had a chance to see a performance put on by the St. Louis Ballet? How many of you have been thinking about going? And how many of you do I need to convince that, yes, you will love it? Okay, so you've got a lot to answer for me this morning. Good morning to you. And we want to say good morning as well to our wonderful aspiring meteorologist who always takes care of us on Mondays and Fridays with a segment that we call What the Weather.
Good evening from St. Louis, Missouri, and it is a beautiful one.
It's kind of been up and down we've been talking about. A little chilly, by the way. Yesterday went to church and it was in the 20s. I'm like, okay, now it's time to get rid of the spring and summer clothes. This is Beckett Moore. Beckett, you and I have been talking about that, haven't we?
Yes, we have. It's been really above average so far this January, but I think that's going to come to an end as we head later into this weekend, later really into the month overall.
Yeah, we can't complain, right, Beckett? I mean, this is what we're supposed to be getting.
Yes, exactly.
Did you do anything fun this weekend, or did you just kind of settle in?
Just settled in again, just still getting used to being back to school, so really relaxing this weekend.
How is school going, by the way?
It's good. It's good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So as you mentioned, we are definitely in a pattern where we're starting to see things get back to normal. So as the kiddos are heading to the bus stop, and we haven't been telling them to bundle up, I think we're going to do that. So take it away, Beckett.
Yeah, so looking at current conditions right now, it is chilly out there, 25 degrees, fair skies, but we are getting some sun in there as the sun rises, 16-degree dew point, so very dry, and sunset tonight finally hitting 5 p.m. Again, we are adding that sunshine, that light throughout the day as we head into later into January and February and into spring. 55 degrees this afternoon, sunny skies for our high, so we are going to warm up today. Again, very above average for this time of the year with a low of 38. Tomorrow warming up to 60 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, then going back down towards 40 by Wednesday. This is when we really get to see some colder air come in, because by Thursday we're at our freezing point for the high. Friday warm back up into the 40s, but by Friday afternoon there's a possibility for a few snow showers. If that even does come into fruition, though, we're not looking at very high accumulations. And then by Saturday and Sunday into the 30s for our high 29, and for Saturday 30 for Sunday. And again, as we head into next week, we are looking at some colder temperatures like this weekend.
I'm looking at Saturday evening. You're saying 13 degrees?
Yes, very
I'm not
cold.
happy about that one. Okay, but I think the saving grace here is if we do have any kind of snow showers, it is into the afternoon on Friday. We'll see if it affects Friday's commute at all. But we'll check again with Beckett on Friday morning, and we'll see if that has gotten out of the forecast, which I'm crossing my fingers for. My friend, thank you. Bundle up, I guess, as you're heading off to school this morning.
All right, thank you.
All right, and by the way, I just saw Julie Fabian said, What the Weather is a great name for St. Louis weather. That's right. So 2 years ago when I was coming up with this segment, I was like, this is exactly St. Louis. What the heck is going on with our weather? By the way, an opportunity for your business to sponsor our wonderful aspiring meteorologist. We had Grade Works LLC last year. By the way, he's getting out of the cold weather, moving to Florida. So that's the only reason why we're losing that sponsor. So how about you? It's a wonderful segment that we always start with on Mondays and Fridays Fridays, and I'd love to attach your business name to our incredible segment and further the education of Beckett Moore. All right, we're getting into our news, and the beginning of it may feel a little heavy. Do you all remember this beautiful soul, Tai Davis? He was on our show about a year and a half ago at our old studios, and then Tai and I had been talking back in September about him coming back on the show for a Foodie Friday to talk about some of the business ventures he was getting into, a brand new concept that honestly just had a soft opening just a few days ago. When I saw this, I saw it on my friend Lauren Nollick's page, who is from Bulk and Treat Box and many other things that she has in our area. I was hoping that it did not say what I saw that it said, and unfortunately it was. And before I go on to talk a little bit more about his life, when I was scrolling through, and if you type in Tai Davis, you're going to see so many remembrances of him. But I saw this on September 5th, and this was a post from Tai that said, "I don't know if it's just getting older or the world we live in, but I just got news that another person dear to me isn't doing well due to cancer." He said, "I don't vent often, but frankly, I'm just tired of crying. If this passes and she needs to move on, this will make 12 in 2025. He said, "I believe I'm a strong person, but I'm starting to have a hard time dealing with this all. And 12 just seems to be excessive and feeling sad." I will tell you his last post, and it's just very eerie. It said, "Sorry. Sorry." And when you see that on someone's page, maybe it's an alert that we all need to pay more attention to. It said, "Sorry loves." And some people jumped in on it right away and said, "I'll be right over after work." Others were like, "What's okay, honey? What's going on?" Right? And I just kept reading all the stories and all the posts. Yara Newsom, I have to thank. She is the one that introduced me to Tai. We talked about Black creatives in the Lou, and he was on our show, like I said, about a year and a half ago. But he and I were just talking back in September. He was set to come on the show to do a brunch series on Foodie Friday. He had to cancel on us, and then he rescheduled. We had it all set again, and the last email exchange between Tai and I had to do with him losing friends. And the last conversation was that a friend of his was killed, and he's like, "Monica, I'm just not in a good headspace." So I don't know what made him think that we didn't want him on earth anymore, but a lot of hashtags, mental health matters, and a lot of people saying, just check in on your friends. I will tell you, people were doing just that. So it's not like people had left him alone. If any of you are watching this morning, or you know someone that is struggling, please remember that there are resources out there like the 988 line, the suicide line. I have a wonderful friend who've been on the show as well, who runs Mind Muscle Pro, and what they're doing is incredible work. But Tai, my heart goes out to you. I hope somewhere you can hear us. You were so loved, and your light that you shone so brightly in this world, we will make sure it stays lit, and we'll take it from here. That was just one loss. Then I saw a post from my friend Jamie Komarak, who owns Mia Sorella and Trattoria Marsala. I thought his post had to do with Tai because he's in the chef world, and instead he was like, that was devastating, and then he was a big Grateful Dead fan. Well, this, if you haven't heard, the Grateful Dead co-founder also has passed away. If you didn't see this over the weekend, Bob Weir, the singer, the songwriter, the guitarist, the co-founder, he was 78, and the family said it is with profound sadness that we share the passing of Bobby. The announcement said he died after a courageous battle with cancer and an underlying lung issue. Go ahead and drop in your favorite Grateful Dead songs to remember him fondly. And then did you watch The Thing or Punky Brewster? This is the third, and they always say they come in threes, right? Veteran actor T.K. Carter has passed away at the age of 69. Now, police did not disclose a cause of death or other details, but said no foul play was suspected. He was declared dead Friday evening after deputies responded to a call regarding an unresponsive male in California, according to the LA County Sheriff's Department. Thomas Kent T.K. Carter, again known for The Thing, but also a recurring role in the 1980s sitcom Punky Brewster. Other big screen roles you may have seen him in: Runaway Train back in 85, Ski Patrol in 1990, and Space Jam in 1996. So just thoughts and prayers going out to so many. At the same time, as I say that, we've been talking a lot over the last week and a half about all these restaurants closing. Steve's Hot Dogs on Del Mar, the Fountain on Del Mar, the Work and Leisure. We were there for a Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. Robust in Webster Groves. I'm not sure if you heard me say that one. Prado's in Lake St. Louis. And now this one, Session Taco, closing its Kirkwood location. This is so sad to see. The Kirkwood location will be open until January 25th. The company said the decision comes after a challenging 2025 for the location, and that is what we're hearing from so many. They're saying that 2025 was one of the roughest years in the restaurant industry. We see some other ones opening their doors, and as I mentioned, Tai had just opened a location with a partner, and they just had the soft opening. Not sure what's going to happen to that now, but if we want these small businesses to last, folks, I keep saying small businesses need your help so drastically. Okay, let's talk about a renovation. This is exciting. For those of you that love going to the historic birdhouse, the renovation will begin at the St. Louis Zoo this spring, so it will close for much of 2026 to undergo those upgrades. It will temporarily close to preserve the iconic nearly 100-year-old building. Likely beginning March, by the way, the birdhouse will close for much of 26 to undergo the upgrades, and that will keep the building and its inhabitants looking and feeling their best. Renovations include a new roof, the HVAC system, skylights, and outer building repairs. For the duration of the work, many of the birds will be relocated to other zoos, and then they will move to new habitats behind the scenes. Pretty cool. Okay, from a health standpoint, a lot of times we talk about these recalls, so check your home for this, your refrigerator, your freezer. Tater tots, do you have them? Well, nearly 40,000 cases are being recalled according to the FDA. McCain Foods USA has initiated a voluntary recall of 2 frozen potato products due to the potential presence of clear, hard plastic fragments. Total of about 38,000 cases of these were impacted. 2 specific brands, Ore-Ida tater tot shaped potatoes and Cisco Imperial potato tater barrel. Both products distributed across multiple states. And I did look, I see Illinois is in here and Missouri as well. So be sure to check to see if you have those at your house. And if you do, remember we always tell you to either throw them away or take them back to the store for a full refund. Okay, how many of you had a chance to see the Golden Globes? I was trying to figure out which picture I wanted to pull. I don't know if you know this about me, but I am a huge Julia Roberts fan. And after all, she should come on this show because in our lineage, in our family tree, my brother has traced that Danny Motor, who she's married to, is evidently a cousin of ours, somehow far removed. So Danny, cuz, get Julia on this show. Well, I love this picture. This is when she was announcing one of the big winners, one battle after another, taking the top honors at the Golden Globes. So did Hamnet, by the way. Paul Thomas Anderson's ragtag revolutionary saga, one battle after another, took the top honors at the 83rd Golden Globes in the comedy category, while Hamnet pulled off an upset over Sinners to win Best Film Drama. Many other winners. I saw Timothée Chalamet won, as well as, let's see, the Globes being held at the Beverly Hilton. And it got underway with a pointedly political opening from St. Louis's own host, Nikki Glaser, and an early award for the night's favorite, the Golden Globes. Did you watch it? A little bit of myth. From what the headline was, it was the Globes mix glitz and gloom. The Studio and Adolescence won as well. Did you watch it? A lot of people seem to kind of slip that. I see ratings go down for these big award shows, and people are saying they're not going to see movies, not seeing all these. But tell me, because I like to know my audience, do you watch these still? Do you watch the Emmys, the Oscars, the Golden Globes? I used to love them. Haven't watched them in a long time. Okay. We know I don't want to say it too loudly because she's going to answer all of your phones. Siri. She helped a guy find this. Pretty cool. A high school teacher and his family found a diamond at a state park, and it was all thanks to Siri, evidently. The teacher's year ended on a very bright note. He found a diamond in a family trip to Arkansas. When the ward's 7-year-old son asked if there was anywhere in Texas or Arkansas they could mine crystals, the family asked Siri for nearby locations, and the state park was among the sites suggested. With no set plans for the holidays, they loaded up, drove 6 hours to Murfreesboro, Arkansas to begin their search. And because of the wintry weather, they were only able to search for 4 hours on the first day. It was so cold, they considered going home, but their 9-year-old son convinced them to return. And that proved fruitful. Within 2 hours of searching, they spotted a metallic-looking crystal in the soil near the park's west drain section. Despite not knowing what the crystal was, they placed it in a paper bag, continued searching with the family, and they stopped by the park's Diamond Discovery Center, where the staff confirmed it was a a little over 2 carat diamond. How cool is that? So I hope that the 9-year-old is the one that gets thanked for all this, because after all, he is the one that said, come on, let's keep searching. All right, I mentioned at the very beginning of the show, you're a big Kansas City Chiefs fan, maybe, and now you're a little frustrated they're going out of Missouri and going to Kansas. So who's going to be our state team? Well, maybe it's the Battlehawks. Yes, one Missouri lawmaker at least wants the Battlehawks to replace the Chiefs as the state's official football team. Missouri State Senator Nick Schroer from St. Charles presented this idea to the Senate on Thursday, proposing to make the Battlehawks Missouri's official football team instead. I'd like that. We need a team, right? I mean, I still will vote, or still will root, I should say, for the Kansas City Chiefs. Love them, but I'd like to see this. Okay, this is an exciting night, by the way. Will you be watching? If you're looking for where you can watch, Matrix, which is part of KMOV, our friends over at KMOV. If you're a hockey fan, you're going to watch the Hall of Fame induction. And not only these 3 players, but also our wonderful Kelly Chase will be getting a nod as well. This is the induction. So this is our Blues Hall of Fame presented tonight at 8 o'clock. The induction ceremony will be held at the Downtown Missouri Athletic Club, and Al Arbor, Barrett Jackman, and Alexander Steen all going into the hall as well. Kelly Chase receiving the True Blue Award. As I mentioned, you can watch this on Matrix, again, which Matrix Midwest, that is affiliated with KMOV. And so if you're a big Blues fan, you don't want to miss that tonight. Speaking of the Blues, by the way, we've been seeing up and down and up and down. Just looking at their last games, they lost to the Golden Knights 4-2 on Saturday. On Friday, they lost to the Mammoth 4-2. They did they lost to the Blackhawks 7-3. So their last 3 games losing. They haven't won since January 3rd when they beat the Canadiens, shut them out, by the way, 2-0. So now they're playing tomorrow against the Hurricanes, 6:30 game, and then they'll play on Friday as well when the Lightning come to town. That game is at 7 o'clock. And we wrap up with our National Day of Calendar. So if you know a redhead, kiss them today. Kiss a ginger day. National Clean Off That Dang Desk, right? National Marzipan Day. National Curried Chicken Day. Love me some curry. And if you have a pharmacist in your family, tell them it's their day today. It is National Pharmacist Day. There we go. You are all up to date. We had a lot going on in news you can use. Let me see our family here. I'm going to call you all family. Good morning, Christy. Hope you're having a great start. She was the first one to say good morning. Kathleen, good morning to you. Luann, good morning. Julie, the weekend wasn't long enough. Never is, right, Christy? Rose says, okay, so we were talking about the ballet, which is what we're going to transition to. So she said she needs to be convinced, but she said, I bet I'll like it. Well, my guest, I hope, will allow you to say, oh my gosh, I want to go see that. And there's many reasons why you want to. Also, an upcoming gala that I'm excited to be a part of. Myself and Abby Stallschmidt, dear friend of ours. Abby will be performing the violin in the pre-festivities, and then I'm going to be doing the auction. I'm excited for that. We'll tell you all about that. Christy says, I have not been to the ballet, but I'm sure I'd love it. I think so. Babs, good morning. A lot of death lately I read about. I know it's part of life, but it's difficult. That's why having God is so important. You know, yesterday, I can't agree with you enough, Rose. We went to, good morning, Stephanie. We went to Church at the Crossing, and this time we went down to the Chesterfield location, and we hung around for a while in the bookstore. In fact, I picked up a new 100 Days to Freedom book because Fear and Anxiety only has 2 days left, and I figured we needed another one. This one's called Healing, by the way. And then we hung around a little longer, and I found myself a new Bible. That is what I see a lot of younger kids. They were in their teens and early 20s. That it was just absolutely packed. Are you seeing that at your churches as well? And what about you? Are you like me where you pick up a Bible for the first time in a long time, or your very first Bible? That is something we're hearing a lot of. And it's making me think of a new segment I would like. I'm going to throw this out there. What do you think about Testament Tuesday? And we bring pastors in, we bring the youth in. We talk about this revival. We talk about this uplifting. I like this idea, and I also will be telling you about our Fields to Fire, and I want to get an idea of when you'd like that. End of January or into February? For those of you that went, it's your second. For those of you that missed it, you will really be lifted up, and we're going to do mental, physical, spiritual, and we will talk about Scripture. So a lot of exciting things to come up for sure. On this show today, it's exciting because a lot of you are already saying, I think I need to be convinced, but I think I'll like it. Well, we'll find out. Our guest will be talking about the St. Louis Ballet. Lauren Christensen is my guest when we return.
I'm very thankful to be on the Monica Adams Show today. As a multi-potentialite, my honestly creative endeavors are to inspire individuals. I think that the show is a great platform in order to show people what opportunities and what potential they kind of have within themselves in order to show to the world. I think this day and age, it's very important for us to just be our authentic selves, for us to really kind of shine brightly and to also share our stories and our narratives. It's very important for people to kind of hear like your journey and process because other people are going through it. So I'm really happy that we have a platform in order for us to be our authentic selves, to be able to shine bright and to live our best lives. So thank you so much, Monica Adams, for doing what you do, for sharing all of these wonderful stories, all of these narratives, and for also just making the world a better place.
This lady got me in the best shape of my life. I literally didn't know that I could be in shape like that. But the amount that she pours into her clients, and especially whenever you get the one-on-one training, it's mind-blowing. I mean, it was really life-changing. I learned so much about proper form, about nutrition, about just being able to invest in myself. I hired Monica to be my personal trainer, which was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
I mean, come on, doesn't that look beautiful? Okay, I have been to the ballet many times. I love the arts. I have to thank my mom and dad for introducing me at a very young age, and I used to do ballet and tap and loved it all, and still, of course, love dance to this day. But I did ask you, and so if you're just tuning in, and I said a few questions for you. Have you been to the ballet? One, do you have a favorite show, by the way, that you've seen? Have you thought about going, or do you need to be convinced? A couple of you already signed on saying, I think I might need some convincing, but I think I'm going to love it. Well, today is your day because we're going to paint the picture of why you will definitely want to go. Let me introduce my guest, Lauren Christensen. First of all, thank you so much for coming in. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to
and
be here.
And I love that sweater. Where'd you get that?
Thank you so much. This is from Yellow the Label. It's a woman-owned company.
Oh, wait, I need to know. I'm very big into fashion, so is it local?
No, it's an online website that you can go to, but it's a woman-owned company, and she tries to use all recycled materials, and it's wonderful. Yeah.
Yellow the Label.
Yellow the Label.
Oh, we're so looking into this. You know that. Yes, that's gorgeous.
Thank you.
So we've been talking about this. First of all, I'm very honored to do the auctioneering for the upcoming gala. And we'll be talking about the gala, how you can buy tickets and get to this. But it's funny, Lauren, I asked them, here's another one. I've never been to the ballet. Okay. So again, I'm waiting for somebody that has, and then tell us what you loved. So I was introduced at a very young age. Were you as well?
Oh, yes. I actually started dancing when I was 3 years old. And again, wanting to do ballet, tap, jazz, all of the things in between. And then I had a teacher when I was about 7 who said, you should really look at ballet more. Like that is really what you are the best at, and I think you could really make something of it.
Wasn't that great to hear? Because a lot of times, Lauren, we'll talk to people that say, somebody didn't believe in me. I wanted it so bad, but somebody didn't believe. And then all of a sudden, this passion they had just goes away because somebody else had power over them.
Yes.
You instead have a wonderful story of someone saying, go for it.
Yes, absolutely. I had a huge support system, including my own family, and then all of the teachers that I really worked with for a long, long time that got me here.
Now, did you grow up in Kansas City?
I did.
When did you move to St. Louis?
When I got my job here, so that was in 2013.
And so what is it like to be a part of the St. Louis Ballet? Because for me, that just seems like a dream job.
Oh, it is. It absolutely is. I get to dance every single day with a bunch of people who I love and adore. I get to do incredible work, which is just so rewarding every single day. And every day I feel like I'm constantly getting better, which just makes it feel even more invigorating to be there each day. I look forward to it, which is incredible because I know a lot of people don't feel that way about their jobs. So I just feel very, very grateful.
Let me say this. So I see more and more men, young boys, getting involved in dance. And I love to see that because you have to understand when I was a little girl, you had little boys going, oh, I don't know, I might be made fun of. That's not the case anymore. And I don't know where the breakthrough came.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Well, actually, my little brother actually started dancing because he was coming to my ballet classes and trying to dance in the hallway. And finally, my mom was like, he just needs to get in there.
Right.
And he actually took classes at a studio in Kansas City that offered a fully boy dance class.
Oh,
and there
how
were
cool.
like 15 of them, and they
Really?
were doing tap and ballet and all of the things to get him excited. Unfortunately, it did not stick.
It's okay.
But it was really great to see all the excitement that the boys could have.
Absolutely. How old is the St. Louis Ballet?
Oh my gosh.
Zach, look that one up for me.
More
So
than 25 years, I can tell you that.
Absolutely. I know that. So, okay, my director, Zach, is going to look for us real quick,
Yeah.
but it's a storied history
Yes.
here in St. Louis, and we should be so proud, by the way. So we know it's over 25 years, and the reason why is...
Because this is Gen Horiuchi's 25th anniversary
Yes.
as director of our company.
51 years, Zach says.
knew it was
Holy
old.
cow. So yes, but for 25 years,
Yes.
this incredible director. Tell us what it's like, first of all, for those that don't know him, what it means to have him as a part. I mean, look at him. He in himself, from a dancing standpoint, again, has a storied history. But for him to be here and dedicate his time to St. Louis, what does that mean?
It is really incredible. He has just such a huge history of like incredible works that he's done. He was on Broadway, he was in Cats, he was a principal dancer at New York City Ballet, danced with George Balanchine himself, who is at the forefront of American ballet. So having his expertise in the studio every day is just incredible. I always feel like I can rely on his opinion, and I really love getting feedback from him because it makes it so much easier to like create the movement and the pictures that we're trying to do every day.
Sure.
And he's incredible.
So has he ever said why St. Louis and why he has stayed as long as he has?
My understanding is that he was asked to come here as a guest artist, actually, and he performed with the company, and he created a bond with the former directors. And then when they were kind of getting on in age, they said, hey, we really want you to just take over for us. Is that something you'd be interested in? And he was like, absolutely. And so that's how it kind of got started, and he just really created something really incredible.
Well, and again, so I hope you're all hearing that. For those that put a bad mark on St. Louis and they talk about crime and whatever, when you go past that and then you start digging into the beauty and what St. Louis has to offer, one of the things that always rises to the top is our arts district.
Absolutely.
I mean, we need to be really, really proud of this. So if you have not been to the St. Louis Ballet, first of all, tell them where we've got a couple of shows that we're going to tell you that are coming up. I'm super excited about. But if they haven't been, and some of them are saying, hey, I want to go, where do they see the St. Louis Ballet?
Yeah, so we perform at the Two Hill Performing Arts Center, which is at the UMSL campus. It's incredible theater. It's huge. It's beautiful, wonderful seating. Our gala, which is coming up on February 12th, will actually be held in the lobby of the Two Hill, which is gorgeous, big windows, lots of space, and it's a really, really wonderful theater. Our backstage area is really nice, which is pleasant.
So
for
there
a
are
dancer.
tickets available still for the gala, right?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
tell them what time that will kick off and what we can all expect from that night.
Absolutely. So it'll be on February 12th. You can get tickets at our website, which is stlouisballet.org. It starts with a cocktail hour at 5 p.m., followed by a performance at 6, which I will be dancing in.
All right.
Yes. And then the dinner and dancing and gala auction situation starts at 7.
At 7.
Yes.
So you're seeing it right there. Again, celebrating 25 years of the St. Louis Ballet under the current leadership.
Yes.
And so right there, auctioneering, me.
That's right.
emceeing as well, though, Taylor Louderman. So tell them about that.
Yes, Taylor Louderman is a St. Louis native.
Yes.
She also Broadway background. She was in the original cast, I want to say, of Mean Girls.
Oh, yes, right.
Yes, and I have seen her myself at the Muni, and she is incredible. She sang last year when she hosted, and I was fangirling like crazy.
I have an intern that I had, and she was like, Monica, she was one of my teachers.
Oh,
and I was
my
like, oh, how
gosh.
cool is that?
Yeah,
yes,
that's
and same thing.
amazing.
She was like, even though she was my teacher, I'm still like, look at her.
Yeah, no, and
so
she-
she'll be there.
Yeah.
We will be auctioneering. And I mentioned at the break, I was talking to Lauren, Abby Stahlschmidt, who is an incredible electric violinist, she will be performing during the cocktail hour. So if you want to come and see her perform, she'll be there as well. And then once we get into the program, for those that are looking at, I'd like to, maybe this is how I introduce myself. What can you tell them about the program that will take place that night?
Absolutely. So that evening, we'll be performing an excerpt from St. Louis Blues, which is Gen's original work that we premiered 2 years ago.
Okay.
We have a jazz band on stage with us. It's, I want to say, like 4 movements, including Gen will actually be dancing.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes, which is honestly incredible. The longevity of his career is insane. And then aside from that, we will also be having, not at the gala, so you'll have to come back to the shows, but we are accompanied by Denise Times, who's an incredible jazz singer here.
Okay, she is one of my favorites. I have had the blessing of interviewing her many times and showcasing her. When I was looking through pictures, I was like, is that Denise? Oh, that's Denise. I want to come just for Denise alone.
Yeah.
There's so many reasons why you would love us. And if you don't know Denise Times, you are missing out. She has such a huge tie to St. Louis and is just one of the most beautiful singers.
I completely agree.
Has she been tied with the St. Louis Ballet for a little while?
Actually, our first time joining with her was 2 years ago when we premiered St. Louis Blues. But she came to the studio and practiced with us, and those were my favorite days because I just got to sit and listen to her. It was incredible. So I'm really excited.
Yeah. Okay. Request. Can you do one for me?
Exactly. Glassy-eyed.
Good morning, Dole, by the way, if you're just tuning in. Lauren Christensen with the St. Louis Ballet, and we're talking about getting a chance to introduce you. So if someone's never been, they can't maybe come to the gala, what would you say, and if it's not one of the shows, and again, we know people are busy, if they can't come to a couple of these, if they have an opportunity and they continue to look in the years to come at programs, is there one where you would go, if this pops up, you cannot miss this?
Well, honestly, the Nutcracker every year. Yes. It is a classic. It is the best way to get people who have never experienced ballet into ballet.
Okay.
It's a old story. It's a Christmas tradition.
Right.
You have to come. We just finished our long run of that. We had, I want to say, 15 shows. It was wonderful, including we actually do an outreach show where we provide free tickets to Title I schools.
Oh.
And it's called A Shorter Tale. So it's actually no intermission. It's shortened. And they do narration over top. So that way the children who have never been introduced to ballet before have a better time understanding and enjoying
I love that. How long have you been doing that?
We've been doing that for many, many years now. I want to say at least 10 because I've been here for 13.
Oh, I absolutely love that. So, okay, if you hadn't said that, then I was going to say, well, my pick would be the Nutcracker.
Oh, yeah.
So, because I remember introducing my nephew when he was maybe 7 or 8 years old.
Yeah.
And his eyes were like this big and just fell in love with it. And then from that forward, he every year wanted to go to the ballet to see the Nutcracker.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, well, now you need to see some more. So that's that should be the introduction.
Yes.
And that's the one to take little kids to.
Oh, absolutely. We are actually doing Cinderella in the spring this season as well, which is a wonderful one for young children as well because we do, it's the story of Cinderella. Everyone loves it. It's a classic.
Yeah, how can you not? But instead of the way you might look at the shoe, this is a ballet slipper that he finds.
Exactly.
And then where is his Cinderella? So thank you, by the way, to your team for providing these beautiful pictures. I was like one right after another and just watching the videos. When you watch it, it's just so elegant. Now, here's my question to you, because let's say you are married or you have a boyfriend that is a man's man and he's like, I'm not telling anybody I'm going to the ballet. What do you say to that?
Oh my gosh. Don't do that. I am married, and my husband comes to every show multiple times. And his very first introduction was the Nutcracker at a different company. And he came like 3 times. He was like, I didn't know I would like it this much. Like, I have to come every time now. And he loves story ballet. So like Cinderella, he's really excited. This will actually be my 3rd time performing this ballet. So he is just like, oh, well, it's one of the best. I have to be there. So
Did he like the arts before you introduced him to that?
Honestly, he had never seen a ballet before until we were dating. And he loves music, but that's about it. So he was really excited when he found like, oh, this is something I'm actually very interested in.
So I'm going to take a quick break. When we come back, I want to go a little bit deeper into that because for those of you, so again, if you're just tuning in, my question to everybody was, have you been to the St. Louis Ballet? Are you intrigued by it? Do you think you need convincing? And for all of you guys, whether you're watching live right now or you watch this on replay, tell me why you think you wouldn't like it, because I really do believe, Lauren, she's correct. You just need to go. Don't be kicking and screaming. Just go. Again, introduction's all you need. And if it's not for someone, that's fine. It may not be. But at the same time, there's so much more to it, just like every show you see at the Fox or the Muni. And maybe one's not your favorite, but it doesn't mean you stop going.
Exactly.
Because something's going to really attach to you. Trust me on this. All right. So we'll have more about the St. Louis Ballet when we return. Don't go anywhere. Welcome to the mobile Monica version of the Real Monica Adams Show at my favorite restaurant. There's something about a coffee house that's just very warm and welcoming.
Gives you that sense of community.
What are you most proud of since you've opened it?
I cry easily. I'm thankful for everybody here.
You opened the door during the middle of the pandemic. You got the best Italian restaurant in the United States. Here in St. Louis, you put us on the map. Does it scare you? Do you go through fear?
Terrifying.
So how do you get past the fear?
We find something to laugh about.
Beautiful, right? It's just beautiful. I mean, well, you know what? Do me a favor. Adjectives. What words would you use to describe what you're seeing there on screen? What words would you use to describe what you've ever thought about ballet? I'll ask Lauren. Lauren Christensen with the St. Louis Ballet. Once again, originally from Kansas City, and then she got her job here with the St. Louis Ballet. And just, did you fall in love with St. Louis immediately?
Oh, immediately.
That's
yeah.
good to hear.
Yeah, the second I got my job, I was like, I'm never auditioning again. I'm going to stay here the rest of my life.
So you can find, again, all of the staff on the stlewisballet.org. That's where you can find the shows that are coming up. You can get tickets, etc. But what adjectives would you use to describe the ballet?
Oh my gosh. Beautiful, athletic.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. Exciting. Absolutely. Musical, obviously. Just too many.
It is, but you know what? You just went to the athletic side because for so many reasons. I mean, you look at what they're able to do, but you also look at how their bodies are sculpted. I'm like, is there not a line in their bodies that you can't see that's just carved out? But it's difficult. I mean,
Yes.
you know, that's the thing. So when you introduce your child to ballet and you're looking at this being something that really attaches to them long term, what as a parent would they need to be telling their kids so that it really sticks and that this isn't just a season, but that they're going to be like you, where you fall in love and you know it's not easy, but you're so passionate about that you stay with it.
Yeah. I mean, when I started dancing at a young age, I fell in love immediately. But my mom did tell me, she was like, this is new for you. You're going to stick it out to the end of the year. Just make sure you make it all the way through, and then we can reassess. And if it's too hard, I understand, but also, isn't it good to push yourself?
Yeah.
And every day, my teachers would just be like, I know it's difficult. Ballet's hard, but that's what makes it special. That's what makes you special for doing it. And it really made it sit inside me, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's right. I can make something incredible just by pushing my body to its limit every day. It requires a lot of cross training. It requires a lot of recovery and recuperation. I did not understand how important hydration was
Yes.
until
Listen to
much
that,
too late
folks.
in my life. But it takes so much from us, and yet it gives us so much back that it's an incredible art form.
So you were 3
Yes.
when you started. I remember doing ballet and jazz and tap and just loving it. But then I also got involved in sports. And I always look at it now going, what if I would have stayed in it? Because
Yeah.
I look at all of them on stage going, dang it, that could have been me, but I got out of it. But again, I'm faith-based, so God took me in different directions. Still absolutely love dance. But when I look at it, I think I never had a chance to get into the shoes that you get to go up on your toes.
Yes, the
So
point
how,
shoes.
what are they called?
Point shoes.
Point shoes.
Yes.
How long did it take for you to get into those?
Yes, so I did not get my first pair of point shoes until actually on my 13th birthday.
13th, okay.
It was the most magical birthday. But you have to build up a lot of strength before you're allowed to go up on point, just
would
because
imagine.
it's very dangerous, honestly. You know, you're dancing on your toes. You have to have so much ankle strength as well as the rest of your body to be able to support yourself. And I teach in the school as well as dance in the company. And I am this year teaching our level that gets introduced to point for the first time.
How cool.
Yes, so they just got their point shoes at Christmas. So we've started doing a lot of point work in class. And it's really wonderful to see, like, you know, obviously it's uncomfortable when you first start.
Okay, that
especially.
was my next question.
Oh, yeah.
It just looks like it is.
Yes, especially when you first get your point shoes, because you haven't built up the calluses. You have to get used to getting blisters at first, because then your body eventually will adapt. But seeing them really push through it and like know like, okay, this is worth it is wonderful. They never complain, which is crazy.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Because that was my first thought. You know, you're looking at them getting up into it and then staying into it and then flipping around is crazy. But I thought right away, it's got to be all ankle, calf. Got to burn the shins.
Yes.
What else are you using though when you're up? I mean, core strength.
Oh, absolutely. Lots of core, lots of butt, honestly.
Well, they do. Every ballet. Come on, let's just go there. Every ballet dancer has the most incredible glutes.
Exactly. Yeah. No. I mean, it just basically it's an entire body workout every single time you're using point shoes. And as a young dancer, you're like, oh, toes, ankles, foot. But like before we get our point shoes, we do a lot of pre-point work, and so that includes abs, cross training, cardio, just because it takes so much just to get up there and then not hurt yourself.
Right?
Yeah.
Again, so how many of you, by the way, I don't even know that. I love to know my audience. How many of you actually have any background in doing ballet? Or were you introduced when you were a little kid? Any of you have grandkids or kids or nieces or nephews that are doing it right now? If so, what do you hear from them? And we're looking at, again, some of the incredible video. How rewarding is it for you to, first of all, have been able to come up as a dancer and then say, now I get to give back by teaching?
Oh my gosh, it's wonderful. I was asked to teach in the school my second season here. So this is, like I said, year 13. So it's been a long time. And I started with the littlest kids, like pre-ballet. So they were 3 years old. And
so cute.
they were just so excited to be in the room with me. And I was like, I'm excited too. And then I ended up getting to teach higher and higher levels. And now I teach from 3 to 18. And I coach privately for a competition where they're learning variations that I've performed, and they get to go and do it on a big stage in front of lots of people. And it's just so rewarding. They just basically stare at you like you're a god, which is kind of crazy because I'm like, I'm just a person, you know?
Right.
But they just are so excited. Like they just want to learn every single thing that you can say to them. And it's so rewarding.
So that's an interesting point to bring up of being able to stay in the moment as to what you're being taught. So the mental side of it all is huge. Obviously, there's so much athleticism that is taking place, but the transfer to the mind, and as they're watching other ones that might be doing great and they are over here feeling like, well, I can't do that yet. The comparison aspect I see a lot in dance.
Oh, absolutely. Mental health is super important in the ballet world. And I talk about it all the time as a teacher because I myself struggled with it a lot when I was a younger student and even into adulthood. So basically, the way I approach it is always you can't compare yourself to anyone else around you. You have to compare yourself to what you did yesterday. And every single time something goes well, that itself is a win. It doesn't matter if it's not as good as yesterday. If you have trouble with a step and then you fix something or make it even just a little bit better, that's already a win in my book. So you have to continue looking at it in that way so that way you can continue getting better. Otherwise, you get down on yourself. And a lot of ballet, for me especially, is like if something's going poorly, most likely it's because I'm in my brain saying this isn't good enough or you're not going to do it.
If you're tuning in, again, Lauren Christensen is my guest. If you've missed the first 45 minutes of the show, go back and watch. Again, we're introducing you maybe to something that you've thought in the past, oh, I don't know. I don't know if that's for me. Really, I ask you this on every show. Keep an open mind. You might be really surprised, and it might stick for you. We'll let you know coming up in about 10 minutes, again, what the performances are that are coming up, the dates, how you can get tickets, the gala that's coming up as well. So as you are going through and you're teaching them. You just mentioned cross-training. So a lot of you might be listening going, wait a minute, isn't it enough just for them to dance? That's so much on the body. But just like we say with anything, your body has so many other muscles that aren't being used, the intrinsic little muscles that might not being used. So how much time right now is you're teaching the young ones that are coming up? And then does it transfer depending on age as to how long they're dancing to then you saying, okay, on these days, you need to be doing this, this, this.
So especially with younger students, obviously cross training isn't quite as important at the moment, just
Right.
because they're already learning how to use all these muscles out of nowhere, and they're like, "What's happening to my body?" But especially as we get into like pre-point stuff, like I said, they're doing TheraBand every day before they come into the studio to make sure that all of the muscles in their like lower legs and stuff like that are warm and ready to go, as well as active. As you get older, you start doing more and more. And as a professional, like I cross train almost every day. Like I'll wake up in the morning, I'll either go on a run or I'll do Pilates. I go to Lifetime Fitness and take an exercise class. And then on my off day, I take like a yoga class, just so that way I'm still doing strength training, but it's also kind of a recovery mode for yoga, just because it's hot and warm. It feels good on the muscles. Plus there's the stretching aspect of it. But everyone's different. Lots of people, another friend of mine loves to do like heavy weightlifting. And I'm like, more power to you. But it's really incredible, because it's just each person's body is so individual.
Right.
But cross training, no matter what you choose to do, has to be helpful.
I was wondering, because Pilates obviously is tied to dance. I mean, that's what it all came up from. So Pilates, bar,
Yes, absolutely. Bar classes.
yoga,
Swimming.
Swimming is
Yes.
fantastic. So think about all of these things. They're doing those as well. So I know a lot of you might be like, oh my gosh, it looks so physically demanding, that I'd be like, that's all I'm doing. But you do to take care of the body. I mean, we talk to a lot of actors and actresses that are performing at the Fox or the Muni, and what they do when they're not dancing. They're not
Absolutely.
just sitting there. They're continuing to move. So that's very important. So again, ballet. Have you ever thought of going? So I remember one time thinking, would I like the opera? I'm so big into musicals and the arts in general that I was introduced to the Opera Theater of St. Louis probably 30 years ago. Loved it.
Yes.
Now, I have not gotten my husband to come see an opera yet. And he's like, I don't know. I don't think that connects with me. I'm like, you're judging and you haven't been yet.
Yeah.
Right? We got to get rid of that mindset. So just keep an open mind. I don't know if Richard's on this morning, but Richard's one of our manliest men that watch. So Richard, if you see this later, if you're not on right now, I want to know, would you go to the ballet? Because you're the typical guy that I would think, I'm not going to a ballet.
Yeah.
Right? We just need them to keep an open mind. But there's a lot of ladies too that may not have thought of it. You might be shocked. And when you're looking for a community of friends, you may find that in the arts. Okay, we're going to take one final break. More with Lauren Christensen. Again, some really amazing shows coming up, and why you won't want to miss this. We'll let you know where they are, how you're going to get tickets, and again, how we can help so that the St. Louis Ballet stays for another 51 years, how you can help make sure that the arts stay right here in St. Louis. Don't go anywhere.
We can help in that year. We want it right there. 25, 25, 25, 25. It's a big money tonight. We're going to keep going. Let's go 5. Who wants to go? Sold for $2,000. I love it so bad, don't you? It's 86. Okay, it is getting hot here. Where's Nellie? $8,500, 1986. 86. 85 is what she has it at. 86. 85. 85 going once. 8,500 going twice. 8,600 he says. She's like, come on, go fast. 87. I need 87. Lift it up. Let's do this. 87. 86. All right, we're going to do it again. $8,600 going once. Does anybody believe the game is done? I don't think so. I don't think so either. 87. How about 88? 8,800. She has it for 87. We're going to do it again. 87 going once. Oh, look at this. He put it down. He might have it. 8,700 going twice to her. She's got it for $8,700. We're going 64. He's talking to his buddies. They 64? Oh, he said, I think unless somebody else wants to jump in the game over here. 63, we're looking for 64. I'm going to go 63 once. Do you think the girls have it, or are the guys going to steal it away? 63 twice. They say the girls have it. 63 twice. The girls have it. Congratulations. I can feel it. Yep. All right, $1,900. He's like, nope, make it work for it. How about 2,000? Keep talking. He says yes. He says yes. You want to have a game? Yes. Invite us all over for Super Bowl and have that sound bar. Twice. Call your eyes out and say. Congratulations. Right there, $10,000. $178,000. Make sure that I say your number. 178 at the $2,500 level. Who else can get the $2,500? Let's help these babies out.
Welcome back to the Real Monica Adams Show. If you missed the first 50 minutes of the show, go back. I want you to kind of just sometimes you just need to listen instead of watching. Listen and go, yeah, Monica keeps stressing, just keep an open mind. Lauren Christensen has been my guest from the St. Louis Ballet, and during the commercial break we were talking, and I said, you know, your husband loves it, but what about his friends? Does he tell his friends that he goes to the ballet? But then I thought about it and thought, well, wait a minute, it's his wife that's dancing, so they're going to want to support you. But I just want to hear more men saying, yeah, so what? Like, just stop caring what other people think. And maybe you need to tell them that you go so we can get more and more newbies that maybe thought they would never go before. Yes. But you've got two really good ones. So in our recap, if you just tuned in and you didn't hear, we're talking about the St. Louis Ballet. They perform at the Two Hill. So if you haven't been, we've got some opportunities for you. So let's go back to think of something unique to do for Valentine's Day.
Absolutely. Our February show is the perfect Valentine's Day date. It's taking place on the 14th. We have a matinee and an evening performance, as well as the 15th. There's a matinee. It's going to be an incredible performance. We have 4 ballets that we're performing. There are 2 pieces by the former director of the New York City Ballet. And then there's a beautiful pas de deux by Christopher Wheeldon, who is now a Tony-winning choreographer. Wow. We've done multiple works of his, but this pas de deux is called Liturgy, and it's stunning. And then aside from that, we are also doing, of course, Gen Horyuchi's St. Louis Blues, which is so fun. We have a jazz band on stage. Denise Times will be singing. It's a really, really great time.
And right before that is the gala. So we talked about it at the beginning, but if you're looking to be able to give back to all of the wonderful performances that have been taking place now for 51 years, we just found out. But if you've not been and you're like, okay, I want to go, 1, 2, I want to make sure that this continues for years to come, then the gala itself, tell them about that. And then we also have a spring performance we'll tell you about.
Yes, absolutely. So the gala will take place on the 12th of February. It starts with a cocktail hour at 5 p.m., followed by a performance where we'll be doing an excerpt from St. Louis Blues that I will be dancing in. And then we are having dinner, dancing, auction, mingling with dancers. We'll be there as soon as we're done dancing. We're going to come out and join you all and have a great time. Taylor Louderman is our host, so she'll be singing, which is so exciting. You, of course, will be our auctioneer. It's going to be a really, really great time. I definitely encourage everyone to come. You get to dress up fancy, which is always fun.
Come on. We've got so many reasons for you to go. You can go online for tickets, by the way, stlouisballet.org. It's stlouisballet.org. If you, for some reason, can't come to those, then, as we mentioned earlier, coming up in the spring, Cinderella, which may be one of the best to first introduce yourself. It's either Cinderella or the Nutcracker, but because you have to wait till the holiday season, I would say look for something to do in the spring and put it on the calendar already, April 24th through the 26th.
Yes, absolutely. It is a wonderful ballet. The music is by Prokofiev, and it's timeless. Everyone, I'm sure, has heard at least one of the beautiful pieces of music that are in this ballet. And aside from that, it's really funny. We have the stepsisters, which are hilarious. There's then the romance between the prince and Cinderella herself. There are fairies that are in it, which is a little different than like the Disney movie maybe we've all seen. And it's a really, really fun way to be introduced to ballet if you haven't seen it before.
It's interesting because you just said something that I think a lot of you might not have realized. You probably have heard a lot of this music, but sometimes people think, oh, I don't know if I want to go. I don't know anything. I'm not going to know the music. You'll be shocked.
Oh, yes.
Either you've heard it maybe in a movie or you've heard it around, or maybe Alexa played it for you.
Right, exactly.
So again, stlouisballet.org. As we wrap up, what are you most proud of that we are able to put on here in St. Louis through the St. Louis Ballet?
Oh my gosh. Any single piece that we present is in our repertoire is incredible. And I'm just so proud of all the work that our company puts together, especially under Gen's leadership. He really has brought so many wonderful ballets to this city that have never been seen before. And every single time we do even a new premiere or one that we've performed in the past, it's a wonderful opportunity to come see something new, because every time it's a different dancer performing it. It's a different experience, because that's what live theater is.
Sure.
And it really brings the audience in, and it makes it just a wonderful community that we can all participate in together.
I agree with that, Lauren. I have seen show after show sometimes, and it's always interesting to see someone else put their own flair to it. And you're like, wow, I love this already, but now I love this person. At the same time, we mentioned this when they're first starting in dance, but at the same time, you as a viewer getting an opportunity to be in the audience, don't compare.
Yes, absolutely. Do not compare dancers to each other. It is not fun for you nor them.
Not fun for them at all. Don't do that. My friend, thank you. I cannot wait to be a part of this again, February 12th. If you want to come out and get an opportunity to give back, support, see amazing performances, as well as see Abby performing. Again, a lot of you have been wanting to see her on the electric violin. She'll be a part of it. You'll get a chance to see Taylor doing the emceeing, myself as the auctioneering, and then be able to hopefully get hooked and say, okay, well, now I want to go and see more. And you'll have that opportunity. Again, St. Louis Ballet, stlouisballet.org. We wrap up the show always doing a devotional, and I always let my guest pick. Okay, so from a faith standpoint, 100 Days to Freedom. And you can think of maybe the struggles that dancers go through.
Okay.
Do they need freedom from depression, shame, anger, fear and anxiety? That one's only got a couple days left in the book. And then yesterday I got a new one called 100 Days to Healing. What do you feel?
I definitely think healing.
Healing.
Yes.
All right. It's
absolutely.
our very first one we get a chance to do. We will do that, and then we'll tell you about what's coming up. This coming Wednesday, we've got a live show at the Vault. It's our big makeover show. I'll mention that, and where our next Mobile Monica is. There's a lot to come, by the way, in the next couple of months that we'll start loading you up, because somebody asked the other day, where's the next Mobile Monicas? We'll give you all of that information and do our 100 Days to Freedom from Healing when we return.
Thankful to Monica for having a show here today. I just love having the opportunity to try and help other people. There are a lot of people in my life that were there for me in my time of need, and that was important for me today to talk to Monica about that. You know, you can get low and then work yourself back up to where you want to be, and people around you can help you do that. Surround yourself with the right people. That's what Monica tries to do here with this show. In fact, I know that's what she wants to do, is she wants people that are like-minded to help each other, to point each other in the right direction, to lift each other up, not put each other down. It was amazing for me to sit in here and talk with Monica, and hopefully it helps somebody along the way. I know that every show that she puts on is fantastic. It's worth your while to be tuning in every single day. Don't worry about some of the negativity around the world, whether it's on TV and this, that, the other. Tune in here to Monica and let her tell her story as well as her guests tell their story. There's always something that you can get from somebody else. And if you pick up just one little thing that helps you, that makes this a success. And that is why I'm here with Monica today.
Well, welcome back again. As you get a chance to share this with your family and friends, tell them all about the incredible St. Louis Ballet. And now you get an opportunity to hit a little hashtag replay and say, oh, I'm just now getting a chance to see it. Yes, Monica, I've danced. Yes, Monica, I've been wanting to go, or I'm intrigued, or I need to be convinced. You can answer that throughout the rest of the day. So Lauren Christensen has been my guest from the St. Louis Ballet. And we chose a brand new book. I just picked it up yesterday. Literally, look, I'm trying to get the books open. It's called 100 Days of Healing from Stephen Arterburn. And this one's day one, the source of healing. So he was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was on him, and by his wounds we are healed. That's Isaiah 53, verse 5. Because we live in an imperfect, sinful world, all of us will experience brokenness. In fact, none of us get through childhood unscathed. And whether our wounds stem from our own disobedience to God or from mistreatment by others or something else entirely, we will often be tempted to become disillusioned or even hardened. However, God desires that we keep our hearts and minds focused on Him and that we seek His purposes for our pain and allow Him to heal the broken places. Healing, it's a process. It takes time. It takes courage. It takes self-discipline. When we are persistent about holding our wounds up to the light of Christ, we will eventually discover a level of freedom and contentment that we once thought impossible. So Jesus, through His own selfless ministry and His sacrifice on the cross, is the source of true and lasting healing. His love saves our souls and imparts abundant life. We no longer need to be afraid of getting hurt because His supernatural grace and peace flows right through us. We can forgive and then in turn be forgiven, living and serving as beloved children of the living God. So ask God where your heart has been hurt, then take a step toward healing as you release your broken places to the Lord. Matthew Henry said, "Come and see the victories of the cross. Christ's wounds are thy healing, His death thy life, His sufferings thy salvation." Henry Nguyen says, if we really believe not only that God exists, but also that God is actively present in our lives, healing, teaching, guiding, we need to set aside a time and space to give God our undivided attention. And Brennan Manning says, to be alive is to be broken. To be broken is to stand in need of grace. I really like that one. Here's your prayer for today as you reflect. Heavenly Father, thank you for your healing power. Remind me to turn to you when I am wounded and give me courage to submit my broken places to your nail-scarred hands. Amen to that. I said we went yesterday to the crossing down in Chesterfield. I was really feeling like I wanted to be in person and not watch it on a screen. Nothing against it, but we normally go to the Fenton location, and it was just a whole nother level of being in the energy. It was packed, and so many teenagers, so many people in their early 20s. You definitely need to get to church early, and I don't mean just on time, I mean early, because it was packed. We got there about 12 minutes early and barely found a seat. There is a revival happening in this world, and if you haven't felt it yet, I'm telling you, just go to church. Just be intrigued, kind of like being intrigued by the ballet. Be intrigued and keep an open mind. It's amazing what we will feel there. Tomorrow, a wonderful show on tap. So as we go back almost 6 years, you remember what happened in March of 2020? Yes, we all lived through the pandemic. Well, this particular guy who's going to be on tomorrow, Tim's going to tell his story about long COVID and how he didn't think that he was going to make it, nor did a lot of doctors. Wow, his story just really lit me up, that story of hope and overcoming. And then what he found from a medical standpoint that he's now carrying forward and even teaching some physicians, what his daughter overcame. Really amazing, inspirational show. And then we're going to have a lot of fun on Wednesday. We'll be at the Vault Luxury Resale. Now, that show will not be at 7 o'clock. It will be at 8 o'clock. It's our big makeover show, Vault Luxury Resale. So it's luxury, not with the luxury price tag. Look at these purses, by the way. I was there the other day, and one of the things that people really love coming in for are all of these very high-end, amazing brands that they have at the Vault. So if you've never been, by the way, they're located at 2325 South Brentwood Boulevard in Brentwood. Yes, the handbags alone, the jewelry, the clothes, the shoes, the jeans bar. I could go on and on and on. We're going to showcase all of it, and we're going to do it through some of our viewers who said, I want to be one of the makeover models. So when we have this, and we'll probably do another one later in the year, when I have a call out for models, I don't mean actual models. I mean you. You're going to be my model. And they are buying right now for spring and summer, handbags and shoes and jewelry and apparel and accessories, Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. So look in your closets. They may want what you have, and then you make some money for yourself. You can get it and put it right back into the vault if you want to, or take that money home with you. If not, they've got a great partner that they work with for a donation aspect. So we're super excited for that. And then the Mobile Monica coming up February 10th is at Apricot Lane Boutique. That is in the O'Fallon area, right off of 40 and Winghaven. So we're excited to be with Monica at Apricot Lane. That's a really cool boutique. Many Mobile Monicas, by the way, are coming up. We've got a lot of meetings. If you would like for us to take the show on the road and bring it to your business, that's what we call a mobile Monica. So we go mobile with the show. It's really exciting, and it's been a part of the show now for almost 3 years. So I would love to have a conversation with you. Shoot me an email, info@therealmonicaadams.com. And one final thing before we wrap up, I want to thank all of you. Just over my shoulder, I've been talking over the last week or so about this book. It's About Time. It's an anthology of 35 authors, and I'm thrilled to have been asked to be a part of this. If you would like your own copy, then direct message me, put a comment right now, or email me. Don't buy it off of Amazon. And the reason why is, why give it to Amazon? Give it to one of the authors that are a part of it. So if you've got someone that you know that's also in the book, reach out to them. We can get it. We can actually save you probably a little bit of money, even a couple of dollars, right? Maybe go get a coffee or whatever with that as you read. It's about time. So it's pivotal moments, powerful voices, unforgettable truths, really inspirational stories. My chapter is called The Awakening, and I'd love for you to get this, and maybe you get a candle. I'm going to do a little bundle that I'll be talking about this week, a book and our Be Kind candle. We'll put that together. So you sit by a fireplace, light the candle, the wonderful smells of embers at the cottage, and read this incredible inspirational book. Sounds good to me, right? Thank you again to Lauren Christensen. Tell everyone I can't wait with the St. Louis Ballet to see you on February 12th, and then from here forward, just to get to immerse yourself in dance.
Yes.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me.
And to all of you, thank you for tuning in. Remember to share and like and follow each and every day. You never know who we're going to highlight. Maybe it's you. If you think you've got a great guest for me, shoot me a message at info@therealmonicaadams.com. And you heard the message earlier, someone believing in you like Lauren had in her life. If they don't, it's okay. Somebody in this world is going to show you the wonderful thing that I ask every day, the kindness that we all can show each other. Be kind, and God bless.